but he's a successful man by a lot of modern day standards. Nobody ever mentioned any of his houses that he has. Nobody mentioned none of his bank accounts. Nobody mentioned anything about money when they got up and talked about how he inspired them and what he meant to them. Everybody talked about how he was a man of few words, how he helped them, how if it wasn't for him, they might not be here. You know, it was even a story talking about how he saved somebody's life. He was in the military. Back when in the days where if you were in the military, you here serving your country and you would still get called the N-word. You'll still get called the boy. Still get disrespected, and you out there serving your country, putting your life on the line, just like the next man. They talked about how he was a kind of like a civil rights activist. My aunts talked about how they used to go and picket, and they had restaurants that wouldn't serve them and stuff like that. And these my aunts. That ain't been that long ago. They told us one story about how in the same city my granddad ended up becoming the vice mayor of. There was a restaurant there back in the day that's still there to this day. I don't know if it's the same owners, but they, back in the day when they finally integrated and they made it where black people could go to white restaurants and stuff, right? My granddad went to a white restaurant and the owner told him, they said I had to serve you, but they didn't say I had to cook for you. They gave my granddaddy a burger with raw meat on it, fresh out the pack. Raw hamburger meat on a hamburger bun. So he been through a whole lot of stuff. And I know it seemed like I'm just singing his praises like I did Saturday, but I got a point to make, so y'all bear with me. I've seen this man get up and take care of his community my whole life. Whether it was just walking around picking up trash in the neighborhood that he didn't put down there on the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. He would go and try to get plots of land rezoned so that he can build duplexes to be able to put affordable housing in our old neighborhood for poor people. He looked out for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? He did all these amazing things throughout his life. They talked about how he was 10 years old working in a fertilizer plant because when the war happened, it wasn't nothing but women and children here. So he had to go to work at 10 years old doing a grown man job. You know what I'm saying? All these things. And I know the times are different, but there are still men around that have that in them, because some people were fortunate enough to have a man like that in their lives to teach them. I learned a lot from my granddad. So there's men walking around with some of these qualities still in them in 2023. I know it seemed far-fetched because we see so many people online putting on, and they flossing their money, flossing their cars, flossing their $1,000 t-shirts and $7,000 jackets, and you know what I'm saying? They buying blue checks, and all they care about is trying to go viral and scamming and scheming and pimping and pandering and everything else. A lot of men these days that's, getting all the play. They getting that play because they do everything in their power to make sure that the spotlight is on them at all times. a bunch of attention-seeking men, if you want to really break it down. You see the experiences that a lot of women are having with these men. You see these type of men on internet shows, podcasts, YouTube channels, whatever else, you watch and, you get your information, your content from. You see them talking about their practices with women, their beliefs with women, how women ain't no good and they gonna have a bunch of them. They want multiple wives and so on and so forth. You see all of this stuff going on. But the guys that really have the character that you want in a man, a lot of times they go unnoticed. Because, again, they have all these good qualities, but they don't feel the need, or they don't even have it in them to cry out for attention. So while everybody is looking at the guy that's lit, you hear that in the rap songs all the time. Find you a dude that's lit. The good guy go unnoticed all the time. And if you out in these environments, in these circles, looking for a socialite, looking for somebody that got 1 million followers, or a Bentley, or a Benz, or look like they spend every dime they ever made, there's certain things that come with that. And I'm not saying that all of those guys are bad guys. I'm just saying that finding good men is a lot easier than a lot of women think. But again, they have a bad marketing team because you don't notice them. Being a guy like my granddad, right? Looking at his life looks very boring. But to the untrained eye, being boring and being focused look just alike. A man that's really on his purpose, on his grind, trying to follow the path that God laid before him, it's not gonna always look like a movie. It's most of the time it's gonna look like a lot of repetitiveness, a lot of hard work for nothing sometimes. But then that guy usually get in that right season, and then everything change. And only the woman that saw it in him, saw the good qualities and saw the character and everything else in him before he blew up, only that woman is going to have a chance. That's why they say all the good men are already married, all the good men are already taken. Because there are some women that's smart enough to know. Don't go after the guy that's lit. Everybody want him. Everybody paying attention to him. But there's a diamond over here in the rough that ain't nobody paying attention to. Same thing happened for good women too. A lot of men out here looking for the lit girl, the one that's walking around half naked, the one that's crying out for attention, the one that gotta be the center of attention. You see her in the middle of the party with her butt tooted up, poked out, clapping cheeks and everything like that.